This is the only way you should be packaging trading cards if you are selling them online. If you fail to implement any one of these steps, then you risk damage to the card, which effectively means you could be left out of pocket as a seller, as you would have to issue a partial or full refund. So let's get straight into it so you can see exactly how you should be packaging your raw trading cards. So up first is the penny sleeve. So even if you are just storing it in a binder, you will always just want to sleeve your card first. It prevents any surface damage. So even if there was a bit of dust or dirt on the card or within the binder or anything like that, if you're then scraping it across something or another surface, that dirt, that dust can create scratches, create marks across the surface, and a penny sleeve will just help protect that from happening. It creates a barrier between the surface of the card and then whatever you're putting it into next. Now, I get my sleeves from VaultX. This video isn't sponsored by them in any way whatsoever, but I do have a discount code. So if you're looking to pick up any of the packaging supplies for yourself, I've got a link in the description, or use the code PokeMike10 and you'll get 10% off your order. So they are the soft card sleeves. That is the sleeve I just used for the card there. And these sleeves roughly work out about 1 to 2p per sleeve. Step 2, we've got top loaders. So I prefer top loaders for packaging because they're a little bit thicker. Some other people prefer using these thinner semi-rigid card holders, which usually are what you need if you want to send your card off for grading. That's how they prefer to receive them. But personally, I like the extra bit of thickness in a top loader. They're less bendy as well because they are a bit more thick. So the whole point of the top loader, and again, these from VaultX, they also cost roughly, will average out around 15 to 20p per top loader. So if you slot the card in and if you tap it, it will help the card fall to the bottom. And obviously it's quite thick, so what this is protecting any damage. Obviously the sleeve inside is very thin, so surface damage could occur if there's enough pressure put through, but these are very thick, so you can't get much damage through that. And like I said, compared to the semi-rigids, they're a bit thicker, so they're just a bit more sturdy. So I personally prefer to use top loaders for that reason. Now, this third and final step is actually something that I see many professional sellers online not do, and it does still risk damage to your card. I actually bought this card from a UK website online store who sells single cards and sealed product, and this is how it arrived. Now, it didn't get damaged, but it could very easily have been damaged, and I've had cards turn up packaged this way and they have been damaged. So I'll go over why you need to follow this last step. And it really doesn't matter about value. So whether you're selling a card that's worth $10 or £10 or $1,000, I still would always implement these 3 steps. It's just how I then package it after that would be different depending on the value of the card. And I can briefly go over that quickly at the end of the video. But let's just get into that third and final step and talk about why it's important. So what you need is a team bag or a PSA sleeve. So PSA sleeves are for graded slabs, so you can put your slab in a sleeve and just help protect that slab from getting scratched and things like that. So a PSA sleeve will do, or a team bag will do. VaultX sell these sleeves as well, so yeah, if you do need them, head on over. But yeah, you just slot it in. These cost literally about 2p per sleeve. Make sure you fold it over at the top loader. Don't fold it over here. You need to fold it over where the top loader is, and you can just seal it just like that, and that's all you need to do. So what some people do instead of that is they use sellotape. So they would sellotape the top of the top loader. Although that's still better than nothing, it's quite annoying as a buyer that you have to peel this tape off, because sometimes you use a tape dispenser, so it comes out with these little grooves and it takes a while to peel that tape off. So if you're buying lots of singles from someone and they're all packaged that way and you're getting multiple singles over a few days, you will spend a lot of time picking that off, trying to get that out, just to get the card out. When it's put in a sleeve like this, look how easy it is just to get that card out the top loader. And not only that, but when you use sellotape, you get this horrible sticky residue left all over on the top loader. So you get a top loader that you can't really reuse. You kind of have to chuck away. You're not going to sit there scraping it off for ages as well. So I highly recommend using these PSA sleeves or team bags. It's much more professional. Whenever I've bought and I get a card turn up packaged this way, I just know that I can really take that seller seriously. They know exactly what they're doing. They know how to package cards correctly. And why you need to do that is because if you put this straight into an envelope, so if I was selling a cheap card, maybe $10, £10, I usually put it in these do not bend envelopes. There's a hard cardboard back. These will cost around sort of 10p as well. So you slot it in there, seal it up. So what can happen while that's in transit is obviously there's a lot of movement. This top loader can be shaking up and down in that envelope, and the card can actually come out, and sometimes it can come out of the sleeve as well. It depends on how sort of tight the top loader is on the card, but the card can slide out, and then obviously you've got the raw surface of the card then touching the cardboard and the paper from the envelope, so that is no longer in the sleeve, and obviously that can then get surface damage, right? So yeah, some people will put tape on, and I've had an issue before actually where someone did tape the top, the whole top, and I think what happened was it did kind of still shake around, and then the card ended up, the top edge of the card ended up getting stuck on some of the tape. So then when I took the card out, there was kind of tape attached to it. I then had to peel the tape off of the card, and it actually stripped the borders off the card, so it completely damaged it just by trying to unpackage it. So although tape can be a little bit better than nothing at all, I highly recommend the team bags and PSA sleeves. Like I said, you know, your buyer can then have a top loader that is reusable. It's very easy for them just to grab the card out. Trust me, it's really not expensive. It doesn't really take a lot to add this in, but it really makes it a lot more professional than using sticky tape over the top of the top loader. As I said, if it's a fairly cheap card, it then goes in one of these envelopes here. And the total cost, including the envelope, to be fair, and the packaging, you're looking around 25 to 30p, depending on how much you're buying in bulk and things like that. Now, as I said, if this is then a more expensive card, if we're talking hundreds of dollars, hundreds of pounds, or even thousands, I would still package the raw card exactly how I've done here. It's just the next steps will be different. So maybe at this point, I would decide to put some cardboard on both sides, put an elastic band around both ends, just to keep an extra bit of, like, an extra layer of protection from damage coming into the card. Potentially you could then bubble wrap that and put it in a cardboard box, or put it in a padded envelope and then package that envelope inside a cardboard box with packaging materials and things like that. So it really depends on the value of the card in terms of the lengths you go through past these 3 steps that I've mentioned here. As long as you're doing these 3 steps with the raw card, then obviously you know you've done the best thing you can to protect that card. You know, if something gets lost in the post, bent in half completely or broken, then obviously that should be covered by the postal service. This is what you should be doing though if you want to protect your cards, and also just protect the value, minimize risk from damage because it's not been packaged well enough. So hope you enjoyed the video, guys. If you did, please hit like, not only for me, but it'll help suggest this video to other people that are into trading cards or potentially looking at selling and packaging their cards. So hopefully it means more people will see the video and we will get more cards turning up packaged correctly, packaged in the best way possible, which means less damage and more happy buyers and sellers for everyone. So thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to hit subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you guys in the next video.